The NBA world has just been rocked by a shocking twist. And this time, it's all centered around one of the league's brightest superstars, Luka Doncic. What started as a heated situation has now exploded into full-blown controversy. Reports are swirling that Luka Doncic has been suspended following an intense altercation. But what really caught everyone off guard was what happened next. Instead of staying silent, Luka fired back. And not just at anyone, but directly at the leadership of the Los Angeles Lakers. Sources close to the situation suggest that emotions were running high after a tense matchup. Luka, known for his passion and competitive fire, was visibly frustrated throughout the game. But no one expected things to escalate the way they did. Moments after the suspension news broke, Luka reportedly made strong comments aimed at the Lakers organization. Comments that many fans are now calling bold, controversial, and even dangerous for his reputation. The target? None other than Lakers ownership, led by Jeanie Buss. According to insiders, Luka felt the decision was unfair, possibly even biased. He believed that the situation was blown out of proportion and that he was being made an example of. Fans across social media instantly took sides. Some are backing Luka, saying the young superstar is simply standing up for himself in a league where emotions run high and tensions are part of the game. Others, however, believe he may have crossed a line, especially when calling out a respected figure like Jeanie Buss. And now, the pressure is mounting. This situation doesn't just affect Luka Doncic. It could have ripple effects across the entire league. What does this mean for his relationship with other teams? Could this impact future matchups against the Lakers? And more importantly, how will the NBA respond if this situation escalates further? One thing is certain, this is far from over. The rivalry between Luka and the Lakers may have just reached a whole new level. And if history has taught us anything, when emotions, pride, and superstar talent collide, the results are always unforgettable. So buckle up, because the NBA drama is just getting started. Will Luka Doncic rise above the controversy? Or will this moment define his season? Only time will tell. The NBA has seen its fair share of drama over the years, but what just unfolded might be one of the most intense storylines of the season. At the center of it all, Luka Doncic, a superstar known for his brilliance, his passion, and his fire on the court, is now making headlines for something far bigger than basketball. It all started during what seemed like just another high-stakes matchup. The energy in the arena was electric as the Los Angeles Lakers faced off in a game filled with tension, physical play, and non-stop momentum swings. From the opening tip, Luka looked locked in. Step-back threes, no-look passes, controlling the tempo like only he can. But as the game went on, things started to shift. Defensive pressure tightened. Calls weren't going his way, and frustration began to build. You could see it in his body language. Every missed call, every turnover, every defensive breakdown by his teammates, it all added up. And then, the moment happened. A heated exchange on the court. Words were said. Tempers flared. Players got involved. Coaches stepped in. What started as competitive fire quickly turned into something much more serious. The referees made their decision. A suspension. And just like that, everything changed. For most players, this is where the story ends. They step away, let the headlines cool off, and move on. But Luka Doncic is not most players. Instead of staying quiet, he responded. And his response? It sent shockwaves across the league. In a series of strong and direct remarks, Luka didn't just question the decision. He went straight at the top, calling out the leadership behind the Lakers organization, led by Jeanie Buss. That's when the story truly exploded. Because in the NBA, criticizing calls is one thing, but challenging ownership? That's a different level entirely. Almost instantly, social media erupted. Fans flooded timelines with reactions. Analysts debated the situation on live television. Former players weighed in, some supporting Luka's passion, others warning him about the consequences of going too far. Some said Luka was right, that superstars often face unfair scrutiny, and that emotions are part of what makes the game great. Others said he crossed a line, that respect for the league and its leadership should always come first. But through all the noise, one question kept coming up. Why did Luka react this way? Was it just frustration in the moment? Or is there something deeper going on? Because if you look closely, this isn't the first time we've seen Luka's competitive fire boil over. He plays with emotion, intensity, and a relentless desire to win. That's what makes him special. But that same fire can sometimes lead to moments like this. Moments that define narratives. Moments that shape careers. Now, the spotlight is brighter than ever. Every move Luka makes, every word he says will be analyzed. And the stakes? They couldn't be higher. Because this situation doesn't just impact one game or one suspension. It could affect relationships across the league. It could fuel rivalries. It could even change how teams, executives, and fans view Luka Doncic moving forward. And let's not forget the Lakers, an organization with a legacy of greatness, championships, and global influence. Being called out publicly is not something that goes unnoticed. How will they respond? Will they address the situation or let their performance on the court do the talking? One thing is certain, when the Mavericks and Lakers meet again, it won't just be another game. It will be personal. The tension will be real, and the entire basketball world will be watching. For Luka, this is a defining moment, a chance to prove that he can channel his tie-ins into greatness, or risk letting controversy overshadow his talent. Because in the NBA, talent alone isn't enough. It's about composure, leadership, and how you respond when the pressure is at its peak. So now, the question remains, will Luka Doncic silence the critics and rise above the chaos? Or has this moment sparked something that could follow him for the rest of the season? The story is still unfolding. And if there's one thing we know about Luka, he's not backing down as the storm around Luka Doncic continues to grow. The entire NBA world is now locked in, watching every development closely. Because this is no longer just about a suspension. It's about power. It's about respect. And it's about how far a superstar is willing to go when he feels wronged. Behind the scenes, tensions are rising fast. Reports suggest that conversations within the league have become more intense than ever. Executives, coaches, and players are all weighing in, some privately, others publicly. And the message is clear. This situation is bigger than anyone expected. For the Los Angeles Lakers, this isn't just noise, it's a direct challenge. An organization built on legacy, championships, and global influence is now at the center of controversy. And at the top of that organization stands Jeanie Buss, a respected leader, a symbol of stability. But now, a name pulled directly into the spotlight by one of the league's biggest stars. That changes everything. Because when a player like Luka speaks out, people listen. And when he targets leadership, the league reacts. But here's where things get even more interesting. Inside Luka's camp, there's a growing belief that this moment could define his identity as a player. Not just a scorer, not just a playmaker, but a leader, someone willing to stand up, even when the consequences are massive. And yet, not everyone agrees with how he handled it. Former players have started speaking out, questioning whether Luka let his emotions go too far. They argue that while passion is part of the game, there's a line that should never be crossed. A line between competing and confronting. And now, Luka finds himself walking that very line. Carefully, because every next move matters. Every statement matters. Every game matters more than ever before. Meanwhile, fans are completely divided. On one side, you have those who admire Luka's fire. They see a young superstar refusing to be controlled, refusing to stay silent, refusing to accept what he believes is unfair treatment. On the other side, critics are calling this a mistake, a moment of frustration that could have long-term consequences, a decision that might affect how he's viewed by teams, officials, and even his own peers. And in the middle of it all, silence. No major response yet from Lakers ownership. No official escalation from the league beyond the suspension. Just tension building quietly in the background. But make no mistake, that silence, it won't last forever, because the next matchup is coming. And when it does, It won't feel like a regular season game. It will feel like a statement. All eyes will be on Luka Doncic. How does he respond? Does he come out aggressive, playing with that same fire, turning controversy into fuel? Or does he take a different approach, letting his game do the talking, silencing critics without saying a word? Because that's what separates great players from legends. And let's not forget, Luka is still writing his story. At just this stage of his career, every moment like this adds another chapter. A chapter filled with pressure, expectations, and defining decisions. Moments that could shape how he's remembered forever.